Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to do a Let's Play and initial impressions review for Omega Pilots VR, a game released in early access on the Steam store today, May 12, 2022, for the Valve Index and the Oculus Rift. It normally retails for $15. I received a free Steam key through the Steam Creator Connect program to review this game, and I'm testing it out on the MetaQuest 2 using link cable. Now, I'm calling this a Let's Play initial impressions, but honestly, I've played it enough that you can call this a full live review if you want. I've raced all the tracks. Currently, there's only one mode available, that's asynchronous multiplayer. This game obviously is I guess it's a zero gravity racer is what you would call it. Some people have compared this to Wipeout. To me, it's not really like Wipeout. There's actually one game this does remind me of, and it's Jetborne Racing. Jetborne Racing, I like Jetborne Racing better than this one. I just like the physics there better. I like the controls there better. They're a lot more smooth and polished. But this does have some advantages right now. Only asynchronous multiplayer is available in early access. And so let's click on that. By the way, there's some customization available before we click on that. I think you unlock this by doing well in the races. So let's click on asynchronous multiplayer. Currently, there's 11 tracks available at launch in early access. And as you can see, there's a global leaderboard. I'm 17th here. I'm 38th there. And as we get into the later tracks, I actually go up 19th, 6th on downshift. That's probably my best one there. 7th on near circle. And Night City, I'm 9th. Night City's very tough because it's dark, basically. I don't really like that track because I think it's too dark, but you'll get there. So there's only one mode, but there's actually 3 different race types. Now, most of them are just normal racing tracks, and they say circle map on them. As you can see, most of them say circle map. There's 2 differences. One is slalom. Okay, and that's kind of like a little obstacle course almost. They call it a slalom map. It kind of is like slalom racing skiing. And the checkpoints map. Checkpoints map, what that means is you're just constantly going towards these markers that spawn. So it's not like a race. It sort of is like a race because you're all going for the marker and you're going against other players. But that one, the multiplayer just doesn't work really well in my opinion. But anyways, let's go ahead and do one of these tracks. Let's do something a little simple. Let's do Water Dam. I'm 38th there. Let's try to improve my time. And I have to get to 1:45 to get bronze. I'm at 1:48. So I need to beat my own time by 3 seconds to get bronze. So as you can see, a lot of people didn't get bronze. At least from 36 down, we didn't get bronze. These 5 people all got silver. No one has gotten gold. Well, actually, I take that back. One person has gotten gold. Sumachi. Congratulations to them. So let's go ahead and let's do Water Dam. Let's start off with one of the easier tracks. I didn't want to start off with the first track because the first track is just too easy. And let's just go with race. So one difference between this and Jetborne Racing is that this is full motion controls to race. So basically what it is, you press grip and then you tilt to spin on your axis. You move your wrist side to side to move on, I guess on the x-axis is what you would call it. And obviously up and down to move on the y-axis. So that's the different. And let's go ahead and let's move this a little higher. And I think that's it. I don't think we need to move it closer. Okay. So there's also slow motion and nitro. And other than that, though, you just put the pedal to the metal. You do have to brake on some of the. We're not doing well. And in case you're wondering, you do get grouped up with different players. So you'll unlock new tracks by placing them in the top 3. However, it'll depend on the other racers as far as how easy or how difficult that'll be.
7.
Ah, we crashed on the side. We didn't want to do that.
6.
So basically, you want to avoid hitting the sides and hitting the top and bottom. It should be pretty obvious, right? Because it really slows you down. So you do want to brake, and obviously you want to use your turbo, your slow motion strategically. I like to use my slow motion only when it's like really tight. Like right here, you might want to use slow motion there. You know, on those tight turns.
7. Race complete.
Okay, so we didn't do well. And we actually did worse than our times. I will say this is one of those racers where you have to kind of practice the tracks and then you improve your times. It's really hard to improve your time if you haven't done the track in a while. And that one, you know, I hadn't done that track since I first did it. So that would be the reason why. I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but it really is the reason. You have to, like, practice these. So I'm going to show something a little different now. Let's go to the arena. Let's do the checkpoint map so I can show you the other different type of race. And then I'll show slalom, and then we'll go back to a normal race. So let's go ahead and start. And let's see if we can improve our time. So we're at 1:29. We have to improve 20 seconds to get bronze. Let's see if we can do that. I mean, we should be able to do that, right? Oh, start.
3, 2, 1, go.
10.
Final lap.
5th. 2nd. 1st.
Checkpoint.
Honestly, it's just the way that you want to attack these, you know, just going one after another, if you can. This is what you don't want to happen, to start drifting like away from your target. Come on, no, this is not what I want. Oh, come on.
Checkpoint.
Oh, come on, how did I not get that one? Sometimes I do wonder about, well, I mean, I'm sure it's accurate, but it's hard to tell sometimes how close something is. Okay, where's the nearest one? Come on, let's find one.
Race complete.
Okay, we didn't do too well, I don't think so. So, yeah, I did worse. Okay, that's not good. Okay. Alright, anyways, let's show the slalom now. Hopefully I can improve my slaloms. At least I do better on one of them. So if I've been doing worse than my original times. So, as you see, my time is 1:12. That's good for 22nd place. Let's try to get to 58 seconds if we can.
3, 2,
Again, we're pressing grip.
go.
10.
Final lap.
1st. 4th. 1st. 1st. 3rd. 1st. 3rd. 2nd.
Okay, so we seem to be doing well, I guess, all things considered. Although here, I think we made a bad turn. See if we can try to fix that. So far, I haven't used any of my boosts, but I might do it on the last.
Race complete.
Okay, so there we go. I think I did better. I think I improved my time. Yeah, I cut off 11 seconds from my time, which is pretty big. Still not good enough to get bronze, though. So, yeah, getting bronze is pretty difficult. So, let's see. Where are we now? So, that improved us to 13th. Wow. So, there's a lot of people who didn't get bronze, as you can see. Okay, let's show one more race. Let's try museum. Let's see how museum goes. This will be my last race. I guess let me talk about this game and what I like and what I don't like. It is a fun racer, yes. However, I think the motion controls kind of bring it down because it does take a lot of getting used to the motion controls. So you're going to spend a lot of time just trying to perfect your motion control movements to, try to get around that corner. It does take a while to get used to them. I personally prefer, kind of using either controls from within the cockpit, if it has like a steering wheel or, a little thruster in there, or if it uses like a gamepad or HOTAS, that's the preferred way for me to navigate. Not this using whatever this is of using grip and going like this or like this or like this. I mean, you get used to it, but it's just not the best control method. So I'm not a big fan of the control method. Yeah, eventually you get used to it, but again, I don't think you'll ever have that precise precision control, precision steering that you need for this type of game. The tracks are nice, but I did notice that the later tracks, especially the last 3 are kind of repetitive of what's come up before it. So it starts off with, the tracks. Okay, these are different tracks. There's even different types of racers. Here, the checkpoint map and the slalom map. And that's good, but there's only 2 variations. And like I said, later on, the tracks start looking the same or have the same type of feel. I honestly think this night map is just one of these other maps, but in the dark. Either that is just too dark. You can't really tell what kind of map. It's really forgettable. The only thing memorable about it is that it's so dark that you can barely see. That's the challenge of that map. But yeah, to me, just the racing physics is not as good as Jetborne Racing. If you played Jetborne Racing or VTOL, you know what I mean by racing physics there. There's just like the drag, just going off corners. This is definitely an arcade type racer. And even with other more wipeout type racers like Ballistic NG or even Redout, I think those are, a little better as far as a wipeout type clone. Now, this is not a bad racer, so don't get me wrong. It's only $15, and there are 11 maps, but only having the asynchronous multiplayer right now is kind of a letdown. But at least you don't have to worry about whether multiplayer has other players like in Jetborne Racing. So that is one advantage of this type of game. Let's go ahead and let's do the next race before I talk too much. But like I said, I think this is a good racer. It just doesn't really wow me.
Three, 2, 1, go.
10. First.
I think also something that's needed in this type of game is like pickups.
First. Second.
Checkpoint.
Third.
And it can be really, really difficult to tell when you're bumping the top. Like really, it's kind of hard to tell
Second.
sometimes.
Third.
Checkpoint.
Like it's really easy to bump the top just because you can't really see it all that well. Especially coming down some of these corners and slopes.
Fifth. Fourth. Fifth.
and it can be very difficult to see the map well or see the racetrack well. That's like,
10,
for me, that's the biggest difficulty, is seeing the racetrack, seeing the edges of the racetrack, so you don't bump into them.
9,
final lap.
9,
Checkpoint.
I messed up there big time.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
I'm crashing way too much against the sides and the top.
Race complete.
Oh man, that was terrible. I just had difficulty seeing the map. This is just one of those maps that you really need to race it like once or twice or maybe even 3 times before you'll get a good lap, just because it is difficult to see. You need to get used to the track, know where all the turns are, you know, when you have to brake, when you don't. And that was just messing up because I wasn't used to the map. I think I only raced it once before. Anyways, it took me about 2 hours to do all the races at least once and unlock all the races. Like I said, you do have to finish in the top 3 to unlock the next race. So there's not a lot of content. The racing is fun, but I'm not a big fan of the way the steering is done with the motion controls. And again, I'm not a big fan of the physics. Now, this is a pure arcade racer, and it is easy to get into, and it's one of those games that'll take a while for you to master the different courses. You know, as you saw, getting gold, a lot of people don't have gold. So it is a challenge. It is fun. I did enjoy playing this game, and if I have to rate it, I would give it a 7 out of 10. It is fun, but I think it just falls short of greatness as far as, you know, the better racers in VR. But it's still good, and I do recommend it. It's only $15, so, you know, I think you're getting enough maps, and the asynchronous multiplayer, you know, it's fun enough. Especially when more players come in, it'll probably be easier to unlock all the maps once you have more players, because like I said, you do get ranked to the players that you're competing against. And right now the problem is that the later maps all have like only the top players, and so the last maps were difficult to unlock just because there was only like, I don't know, a limited amount of players, and usually by that point they're all pretty good. So those are the toughest maps, but I think once more people start playing this game, it'll be easier to unlock these last few maps or last few tracks. Anyways, this has been my Let's Play Initial Impressions review. Like I said, you could almost call it a full live review. And if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.